We got the thumbs up
Thumbs
from
up
producer Ryley.
rolling. Patrick Bateman.
Peter Michaels.
Our friends at Sawback Brewing Company, Go Services Inc., Bo's Bar and Stage.
The beautiful Bo's Bar and Stage.
This is episode 75.
Holy shit.
That's 3/4 of a century.
That's a good time to do a solo dolo.
Do we want to let that cat out of the bag now?
Yes, no guests, just us.
Click.
It's been a busy couple weeks. I just had a wedding on the weekend that I've been like preparing for and stressing about for, well, last week, almost all of last week, but
You
really
clean
a couple
up
months.
okay.
Oh, thank
When was
you.
the last time you were in a suit?
Oh God, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know that I've ever seen
I
you in
usually
one
don't
before.
go to weddings, so I don't have too much of an excuse to be in a suit.
Yeah.
But,
Look good on you.
Thank you. And I emceed it.
Oh, and how was that?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I got more praise in 2 hours than I did in 8 hours of radio broadcast or 8 years of radio broadcasting. I was like, oh, if only Peter Michaels was here, he could have given me some
air check
praise.
the MC notes.
Yeah, it was good. I had some fun with it, and like I've honestly been the number of weddings I've been to, I could probably count on one hand.
Yeah.
And most of them have not been like traditional weddings.
Do you ever sit at home and wonder why don't I get invited to weddings?
Well, there's been a couple weddings I just haven't gone to, in all honesty. But like I just also don't have friends that really get married.
Yeah, and I believe and especially because a lot of people are waiting until much later years now, or just not doing it all, which I actually completely appreciate the non-traditional.
Yeah, and this one was really, really cool. It was at this really nice like steakhouse in Calgary called Char Bar. So it was a beautiful brick building. No church, no religion, no cake cutting. Beautiful meal. Pretty short, like I think all together from just introducing the speeches from the wedding party and the parents and the bride and groom. I think I did like 25 minutes total.
Wow.
So my job was done from 6:30 till
So how
9.
much prep went like?
It's weird because when they asked me to be the MC, there's one day in July, I think, when I just went full radio prep mode and just started writing ideas. And thankfully, with radio experience, I have a decent ability to write for speaking.
Which is, for the record, if you are in radio and you have friends getting married, you are getting asked to MC.
Yes, totally.
That's just the way it goes.
And honestly, I mean, if you want it to go smoothly, that's not a bad idea.
Right.
I emceed one or two events when we were working together.
Yeah.
It's one
Some
charity
Bo's
event. And then, we did some things at Bo's. But only the one time, I think, did I do it by myself at that. There's a charity event at the golf club. But yeah, so anyways, back in the summer, I scripted out a ton of bits. And at the end of the day, in the last 2-3 weeks when I was really finalizing it, I probably used 85% of what I wrote a few months ago, which was kind of nice.
And all original? You didn't borrow off of anything?
No. All original.
All right.
I mentioned divorce, legal separation.
Well, how are the speeches? Did anybody?
Honestly, the speeches were great.
Yeah?
Everyone killed it. I don't know what it was, but everyone was just the room felt very close, and I don't know the number, but I think it was 100 people.
Yeah.
But the room felt very close and fun, and everyone just fed off of each other, and it worked out.
And did
was
they have
very impressive.
Like a traditional dance to follow?
They did
sort
a
of
first
thing?
dance. Yeah.
But like, was there a dance for everybody else to get up?
Oh,
like,
good God. Yeah. There was,
Okay.
There was, my highlight of the night was I took a picture of the blood stain on the dance floor at about midnight. Someone had an accident with some broken glass.
Are you sure that wasn't some hall out in Buttfuckville?
No.
Alberta somewhere?
No, it was
usually
in
end
the
up
East
in some blood
Village
on
of
the floor.
Calgary. But yeah, blood on the floor was pretty funny. Yeah, it was a fun time.
Chicken dance?
No, I don't think I
Okay.
saw a chicken
Yeah,
dance. But I also wasn't on the dance floor.
Because I spent a lot of years doing the wedding circuit and DJing, so I saw that picture of you, and I'm like, I can only imagine Patrick at a wedding dance with like old-time rock and roll.
Oh my God!
No, I figured you'd be as far away from the dance floor as possible.
I set foot on the dance floor for less than 30 seconds, and in that time had my ass grabbed and had a bottle of wine poured down my mouth and all over my suit. So
once again, this was not a rural out in the country.
No, actually, at
Interesting.
one point, The bride and groom were pretty specific about the music that they wanted.
Yeah.
I think they provided a pretty lengthy list of tunes. And at one point, I remember hearing How You Remind Me start. And within 3 bars, cut to Britney Spears. Whatever fucking Britney Spears song. And I was like, oh, that was kind of funny psych from the DJ. What I found out the next day is that he started Nickelback, and the groom immediately looked at him and went like this. So that was really funny.
I had a few of those too, where and I remember thinking, oh, this song's gonna kill after this, and then you get it started, and then the dance floor clears. You're like, okay, next.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I remember having so many meetings with bride and grooms, and they would always be, we don't want the traditional token, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I was always fine to play along with that.
Frankie Valli.
Not even Frankie Valli would have been fine. Like the bird dance was the one that came up all the time.
Oh, so you're talking about like novelty songs?
Mostly, and the typical traditional wedding songs.
Right.
Like I Knew the Bride, and It's Old Time Rock and Roll, and just all the shit you hear at every single wedding. But I'll tell you, the bird dance killed. Every time I had a bride and groom say no bird dance, I was like, "Are you sure?" Because the
data shows.
Trust me, I hated my life every single Saturday night playing that friggin' song.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why it gets played at every wedding from.
So have you emceed weddings?
Yep.
Like in what context though? Like just.
I'm just trying to. I don't think, because we did have so like the DJ service we had. There was a couple of us that went out and did it, and I do remember one couple actually hiring us to do the MC work as well as.
And did you know
DJing.
them well?
No, not at all.
Wow.
So yeah, imagine trying to MC for somebody that you don't know
at
all. So I've MC'd for people that I know. I actually still have. I don't know why I remember this, but my buddy Kent had me MC his wedding, and he gave me a very lovely Pilsner pullover, which I still wear to this day while we're camping.
That's hilarious.
I remember getting that as a thank you, and I was like, oh, no problem.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's daunting, even for somebody that's got public speaking and.
Well, I realized the day of. The nerves really started to get to me on the Friday, maybe even the Thursday. The wedding was on Saturday. And then Friday night, went to bed, didn't have a great sleep, but I was done. Like my stuff was printed, my notes, like I'd find everything.
Cue cards, or you tried to?
8.5 by 11s. Okay. Font 14. But and like I'd run through it enough that I could go off script when I needed to.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Saturday morning I was not in great shape. It was Kayla asked me if I wanted an Ativan multiple times, and I very very closely got to it.
Honestly, the pressure is insane. Like this is a moment and something that these people will remember for their entire lives. Plus all of the people that are there. It's a very intense thing to do.
And that's not something I'd really, as close as I am to the bride and groom and the family involved, I don't think I calculated that until the day of.
That makes it worse.
In that, this is because I was telling Ryley earlier, and I did mention it during the speech, and I paraphrasing, but a close friend of mine never really had plans on getting married, and he did a few years ago. Whatever, things change.
Yep.
You do it for different reasons, and he said to me, kind of in discussing his change of plans, that. When you think about it, it's the first and last time you can get your friends, your family, or your loved ones in the same room to honor and celebrate you until your funeral.
Yep.
That's a huge perspective change.
And you had this rolling through your head before?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Oh, no wonder.
So then I'm like, fuck,
did it take?
I can't fuck this up at all. Like, I really gotta. Anyways, there was, it was a really good time. And everyone was super happy.
Are they Dutch?
No.
Is there any Dutch? Because
No.
I saw the picture that I don't think you had posted it, but somebody had posted and tagged you, so it showed up on my feed.
Yeah.
Where they were up. They had the bride and the groom.
Oh,
up
I
in
posted
the
that
air.
video. Yeah, no, that was just.
That's
yeah.
You did post that video.
Yeah,
and they're all up in the and.
Yeah, no, that's just people.
So
got
Dutch
up there.
weddings, and I'm Dutch, and I didn't know that this was a thing, but every Dutch wedding that I DJ'd was crazy. But they were just loaded with skits. That was pretty much the whole skits. The family members all came up with skits, and sometimes it had to do with, the relationship or marriage or any of that kind of stuff. There's always skits that would happen leading up to the dance. And then always at some point in the dance, the bride and the groom were set on chairs, and they would be hoisted up and danced around very similar to what those guys were doing.
Huh.
Absolutely crazy.
That's wild. Was your wedding influenced by any sort of culture?
None at all whatsoever.
Was that purposeful?
Yeah, I just we didn't.
Was it in a church? Just the ceremony?
The ceremony was in the church, and then we had the reception at the Didsbury Community
Right.
Hall.
Yeah.
There was blood on the dance floor by 9:35, probably.
Wow. Yeah, no, and again, I don't really know much about weddings. Like, it was funny, one of the groomsmen was, I mean, I haven't told him this, but I genuinely think he could start a business being like a wedding, not even a planner, just like a guru.
Yeah.
He's obviously been to so many weddings. And just like the rules, left hand over right hand when you're walking in for the ceremony. Women or ladies have your thumb at your belly button or so, like all this just minutia that I've never ever experienced before.
Right. But isn't that great to throw some of that traditional way? So
Totally, which they did do in a lot of aspects for this wedding specifically. But
okay, because we didn't end up doing. We were gonna have like my wife. Well, I ate McDonald's a shit ton then too. We were gonna have like McDonald's cheeseburgers as our main. We did go get like Slurpees from the local convenience store before we went. So tried to do it fairly.
And how many people were there? Just the population of Didsbury?
No, because that was the other thing too. I remember fighting with my mom so much. I'm like, I have not seen this uncle in 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, why am I paying $40 for his plate?
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't ever speak to him again until whatever, a funeral way down the.
Yeah.
So no, we did some things traditionally and others very untraditional.
Okay. Yeah. No. Have you seen live music in your DJing career at weddings?
Honestly, some of the best times ever were people that had booked me as a DJ and a live band, and we just kind of went back and forth.
Okay.
Which I would imagine both of us probably really appreciated because it's half the workload.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, it was still the regular price.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever. We'd play for an hour, and then the band would play for an hour, and then that way you've got all your bases covered. Everybody's happy. The people that like live music are good. The people that like the recorded stuff is good.
Now I know that if you were to get married again, maybe do you
know something I don't?
Forget about the wedding that you had, however, 25?
We actually, this weekend, it's 23.
Wow. Congrats. That's exciting. Okay, so pretend like you're about to get married again. If you were to pick one artist to perform a song, can I guess who it is?
I'm trying to think if there would be anybody that I could
You've got all the money you need. Anyone.
No, you're probably. I'm trying to think of who.
It's not the White Buffalo?
No, it'd probably be the White Buffalo. I'm trying to think of who else I could sneak in there real quick just to throw you off the.
Just to pretend
like it would be somebody else, but no money. Even if money's no object. I mean,
They have to be alive though. You can't.
I was just gonna say alive.
Not that John is like the greatest excuse for a wedding, of a healthy relationship.
No, definitely not. But there's a couple of songs that would work really well from John's repertoire that would fit in there.
Mm-hmm. That's really funny.
Yeah, we did do the song that probably played the largest role at our reception was the Spice Girls.
Just a sign of the times, or
Stop. Because me and some buddies knew the Stop. I can't do it now, but we knew that there was a whole dance to it, and there's some booze involved in that night.
You guys do a big group dance,
and there was a pretty big performance.
Oh, cool.
Of that I was the same thing. My wife was like, I don't know, it was like 11:30, and I could see her already ready to.
Oh, ready to get out.
This is like a Didsbury good time. Like, we're not getting out of here until at least 2, babe. We're shutting this thing down.
Have you been to more weddings in Didsbury since then?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, recently or?
No, it's probably been a while, but things haven't changed.
You haven't been to a wedding in a long time, right?
It's very funny. I can't even tell you the last time I would have been at a wedding. But same thing. I'm at the age now where soon enough, like once my kids are probably getting close within the next 5-10 years.
Yeah.
And then their friends, so I think it'll start to ramp up again. But we're kind of in that middle zone where all of our friends are married and gone. Now our kids will be ready to start going, and I think we'll get busy again. And then now I don't DJ anymore. I could be that guy that I used to DJ.
Yeah. Play the bird song.
You know what you should play? You should play this after this.
I don't even know what fucking bird song you're talking about. Like
the fucking bird dance, the chicken dance.
Okay.
Na.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
all
right.
That's really funny. I definitely didn't hear that on Saturday night. That's for goddamn sure.
Saturday for so many Saturdays of my life.
Well, and you're ready to get it going again.
Our friend that we're helping move this week.
Yeah.
So he also DJ'd, and we all have some pretty good tales of some evenings that went askew. But my favorite one is, so you're booked to play until whatever 1 o'clock.
Yep.
Anything over that, you're tired, want to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Show me the money. So this one wedding he was doing, it came to 1 o'clock, and somebody came up and was like, "How much to keep it going?" And he's like, "Well, whatever, it's going pretty good, the dance, whatever. If you can come up with $100 or so, that I'll keep going for a couple hours." So the next thing you knew is it was a country wedding, so this cowboy hat's getting passed around the room.
Oh my God.
And all he sees is like just all this money going into this cowboy hat. Like just everybody's whipping things out and putting this money in. The person that came up to his table with a hat and said, "Is this enough?" And like this cowboy hat was like full of cash. Like full. He figured there must have been $500, $600, $700.
Holy shit.
So he's like, "Yeah, I'll keep this thing going for as long as you guys want to go." So he gets his next few songs ready and he's playing. And this woman comes back up real sheepishly. She's like, "Well, we really do want you to keep going. But it turns out everybody in the room thought that the money was being collected for the bride and groom."
Oh no.
And that's why so he's like, "Oh, yeah, of course."
And got nothing?
I got nothing.
But still kept going.
He played for another 20 minutes. And
Oh my
shut her
God.
down.
That sounds like a terrible, embarrassing experience.
Horrible.
Unreal. Did you get out to Moon Tricks last week?
I did, yeah.
I heard
You
it was
did not.
really good.
I was blown away.
Yeah.
Like absolutely blown away. I didn't know 100% what to expect. I'd listened to some of the tunes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was like packed in there. The crowd was into
it
it
looked
and
busy.
dancing the whole time.
So they had the Shambhala crew out.
Yeah.
From what I understand, they do a lot of like Shambhala, like festival, rave festival kind of things.
Yeah.
Because they have a heavy electronic component to their
It's
their set.
It's the craziest thing because it shouldn't work, but it works so well because he's got a banjo for probably half the songs.
Okay.
And I think he had an SG for the other half. Anyways, it's like a real like kind of bluesy hillbilly kind of sound, but just with this techno beat in behind it.
Yeah.
It's crazy good.
That's wild. Well, yeah, no, I definitely missed that one.
And I don't partake in the typical rave celebration thing to make you really enjoy, but yeah, it was.
You mean drugs?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw some video and some pictures after. It looked like it was a pretty bumping time for sure.
It was pretty good, yeah.
And then we got Marielle Buckley next week.
That's it. So it's a little bit of a slowdown before we get into a real big crunch kind of towards the end of November where things get really, really busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Marielle next week, and that I'm looking forward to. She was I didn't realize this, but she'd won the radio
Project Wild
in Calgary 2 years ago, maybe 3.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that. Yeah, I think so.
I've been really, really digging that album a ton.
It's fantastic.
It really is.
It's really good.
And
her voice is great.
And you know her a little bit, right?
We've DM'd a lot, yeah. And I talked to her yesterday to make sure she was good to have a chat next week. So
do you know, are those songs autobiographical or is
I'm not sure.
Okay, well,
I'm sure we'll find out.
Yeah, looking forward to finding that out because there's some pretty interesting tales.
Yeah, for sure.
In some of those songs.
I'm gonna have to dig deeper into the actual lyrical context behind the songs, but yeah, really, really cool music, and it just seems like she's got a very good place in the industry. Seems like a lot of people are pretty happy with her success lately anyways.
Yeah, and it's a sound that I think is really finding an audience. It's not necessarily a mainstream audience.
What, are you talking like alt country kind of?
In that alt country,
I think it's
pop country vein of things. And I had a I can't remember if we talked about this on the last show or not, but I had a guy message me. I posted something about Tyler Childers. And he had messaged me something about, it would be nice if radio could pick up on this and bring it to the masses. And I said, honestly, it's at the masses. Go look at Tyler Childers. I think has 7 million. And it's funny. It came up a little bit when we talked to Cor Blund a while back. Mm-hmm. And he had talked about all of these different artists that were, packing places in the States. No radio play at all whatsoever for them, but they're still bringing in a huge crowd. So you look at, Marielle Buckley, I think is doing that. Obviously Tyler Childers. I looked at,
I don't think
Zach
Sturgill
Bryan.
ever got radio
Sturgill
play.
never got radio play. Sturgill's in the millions.
Yeah.
That Zach Bryan right now is doing huge, and he's, I think, around 5 million.
Yeah.
So there's definitely an audience. It's hit the mainstream.
Yeah, I think country went through a period where it had a massive divide in the last 10 years of pop country and other country.
Yeah.
And I think that for some reason, I don't know if it split the fan base or if it just welcomed more people from from the outside, because like I have no fucking interest in listening to the pop country
the
that
bro
I hear. No,
kind of stuff.
No interest at all.
But again, on the country side of things, because that's when I first got into radio. It was country radio that I worked for the first 6 years. And country's always been like that. Even when all of the big stuff of the 90s was huge, which I think most people would probably consider fairly traditional country now, like the Alan Jacksons and the Clint Blacks of the world and all that. There was a divide then about that not being real country.
Right. So because you're coming out of the Johnny Cash
or even
later
some of the 80s stuff that might have been, even a guy like Vince Gill. I think Vince Gill got a bit of a hard time because he had a little bit more of a pop.
Okay.
Leaned, especially some of his ballads.
Right.
So I think that's a steady in country music. I think there's always, just as time goes on, that rift is always there.
Two very
what
different
came
currents,
before is better than what's out now to a lot of people.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting genre for sure. What did you think of the big pop punk news this morning?
Very cool, but not unexpected. I mean, the rumors have been flying around for quite some time. I think that he was going to come back.
Well, not only that, but no one remembers 2009, 2008, because I was at the fucking reunion show for Blink-182 in 2009, and we're just doing it again 13 years later.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, man. Do you see how much tickets were?
I did not look at ticket prices. Is it bad?
So I was super excited this morning. Blink was my favorite band growing up.
Yeah.
By far. Like, I fucking loved them so much. And was so grateful that they came back in 2009 because Travis
what
had
led to the first breakup?
Plane crash.
Oh,
plane crash.
Right.
Travis had the plane crash. There was already some serious dispute in the band between Tom and the rest of them. Like, there was a lot of drama, and the guy couldn't fucking fly anywhere, which I think he had his first flight like a year ago, which is crazy. But anyways, so a bunch of friends, we went to, at the time, Molson Amphitheater in Toronto, which you've been to, and saw our favorite childhood band for the first time in our lives, and it was amazing. And then they break up again and put out 3 fucking trash records and blah, 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 blah. So now I wake up this morning, I see this news, which you're right, it's been rumored that they've maybe getting back together again. But Turnstile's opening.
That was the exciting part, was Turnstile.
So I'm like, fuck, this is going to be sick. And they're going to Calgary and Edmonton, to the Saddle Dome. That'll be pretty cool. I need to verify, and I tried to verify, but I couldn't get any pricing on Ticketmaster. I saw someone on Instagram talking about nosebleeds being $300 fucking dollars.
What? That can't.
We should probably verify it, but if that's the case, like, how many times do I need to make Bob Dylan comparisons before? Like, that's not even fair anymore.
Wow.
Everyone, it's this dynamic pricing horseshit. But
it's unfortunate because somebody out there is going to pay it. Somebody's going to get that. So rather than let the scalpers get that money, like, I mean, I get that angle of it.
Yeah.
Because it was the same thing. The dynamic pricing that was it Springsteen that made all the noise.
$1,500 tickets in some places. Yeah.
Like, I just want to take the people that are spending that and. What are you doing?
Well, and we've talked negatively about Billy Joel in the past based on that, how he's treated his former musicians, but I do think that he deserves credit because I'm pretty sure it's Billy Joel who refuses. He keeps those first few rows for fans.
Right.
They are not for the rich and wealthy. In fact, I think they actively work against selling those to the rich and wealthy.
So, but how? Like, I think Garth does the same.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure when Garth sets a ticket price, that's the ticket price, and they do not.
Right.
And he's usually pretty good at it too. Like, I do believe. Well, I think at one time we saw Garth, it was like $80.
And to be fair, he should be when he's playing 3 to 5 or 8 shows in the same
venue.
Well,
and that was his other argument against that too. Is I'll just do as many shows as people want to go, and then the scalpers can't.
Yeah.
Can't.
Yeah, so if that's true, that's a huge piss off.
Pretty insane.
Because but
that's the way it goes, dude. Like, honestly, that's the Eagles, I think we've talked about as well, were the first band to really kind of do that and set those ticket prices up.
Yeah.
Well over $100. They were the first. But, you start getting into, you're not an 18-year-old kid anymore.
Yeah.
You're established. You've got some disposable income.
Yeah.
And that's what what they do, right? They know their fan base is in a comfortable, more than likely in a comfortable spot,
or the fans that they care about anyways.
Right.
But yeah, it's a weird thing. It's so funny too that this is happening. Blink is bringing back an original member, seemingly booting the guy that's been Matt Skiba, that's been doing it for a few years.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
And now that guy's actually starting to kind of shit talk them a little bit, which I love to see. That I love to see that.
Yeah. And what is he doing? Did he release a
Klinghoffer?
Klinghoffer?
I don't know.
I think he was releasing something.
Is that why he's shit talking them?
Might
He's trying
be.
to drive
Might
up?
be trying to drive a little traffic for himself.
Maybe
at the same time.
But yeah, no, it's these legacy, and it's also just a weird thing to consider Blink a legacy act.
Yeah, but again, that's your 25 years.
Yeah, I mean Cheshire Cat was I think 94, 95, I want to say. So yeah, I think so. Anyways.
So again, you get thinking of the 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old that would have listened to that when they first came out, is now pushing that 40
and
range.
I would never expect to see Blink in a great venue like Bose. It's going to be at a giant outdoor field or in a hockey arena.
The other thing I appreciate that I do enjoy the fact that they're bringing Turnstile out with them. It's not a packaged act like the Motley Crue Def Leppard thing. It's
good God,
they're bringing some new blood.
Yeah, which I wonder what the strategy there was, because you could argue that I think it's definitive. Turnstile was a more relevant band for the last 2 years.
Definitely.
Maybe more relevant than Blink-182 has been in 5 years.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of that last Blink single that did. Was it Friday night or a Saturday? Was there a day of the week?
Some garbage. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, haven't been relevant for a long time.
But we'll have to fact check those prices when I think they go on sale this Friday.
Okay.
But if that's the truth, good God.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Well, that's
you guys made fart and dick jokes for 20 years.
Well, you saw the video?
I actually have not watched it.
Oh.
I saw I saw it without sound when I was rushing to work this morning. But I kind of got the vibe of what they were doing.
You need the sound on to fully get what's going on.
Well, their single's called Edging, I think, which is pretty funny. That is something that I'd be interested in. Will Blink-182 return to form, but with modern gross out slang?
Well, and that's so as I'm watching that video, I'm thinking to myself, when you're 18, 20, 25, yeah, that shit's pretty. But now these are, I'm sure, got to be 45.
Easily. Yeah,
50-year-old dudes.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if they've hit, I feel like maybe one of them has hit 50, actually.
Yeah, I would assume it's got to be, if it's not close. And whatever. Be as young as you want to be.
Did you look down on them in the late 90s, early 2000s?
No.
Did you listen to them?
Casually. I definitely wouldn't have gotten.
They weren't too crude for you just indifferent, or?
Do you remember I grew up listening to Motley Crue?
Yeah, but they weren't talking about farting and pretending to be Satan on stage, were they?
Well,
it would be nice to have a blowjob.
Their whole
that's what Motley Crue was a little more cryptic than that, right?
No,
didn't they make up innuendo for that instead of just saying it would be nice to get a blowjob?
Yeah, I guess they didn't come right out and say it, but I mean, I don't want to recite any lyrics, but they were pretty. Enough. And then the Shout of the Devil had the whole pentagram, and
right, yeah,
that stuff was all pretty there. I mean, it's not new. It's not new. Just kind of gets repackaged for a new generation.
Was producer Ryley? Was Blink a major part of your childhood listening? Do you remember what album? Was it like Take Off Your Pants and Jacket? Did you go so far as to listen to the Mark Tom Travis show, like the live record with the skits and stuff? Okay, interesting.
And then so the Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, and then there was the Canadian band that kind of spoofed that with Simple Plan. What was Simple Plan's record called? Something about balls.
Oh, I don't know.
Simple Plan had a playoff of that.
Oh, interesting.
As well.
Interesting. That's
something. I forget what it was, but it was just balls.
Beyond any of the shows we have coming up to Bose, do you have tickets to anything?
Yeah.
Oh. And
just kind of goes back to earlier in the conversation.
Oh, you're doing some traveling.
I'm doing some traveling.
Whereabouts?
Missoula and Bozeman, Montana.
So those are the two usual spots that you'll travel to see White Buffalo or Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Or Foo
Fighters.
Right.
Which was Billings, but yeah, Missoula.
Okay.
Missoula's a great.
Yeah, you love that
town.
place.
So, and this is great. So it is the White Buffalo that we're going to see, and so he's played at this place called the Top Hat Lounge in Missoula, which is a great little club spot, very similar to Bose, probably similar in size.
Okay.
And now he's moved up and playing the theater.
Oh,
the Wilma,
which is a really nice theater.
It's a nice theater.
I've heard about that. And then traditionally you will pack into a truck with 3, 4, 5 people, and I mean, one year you did 5 different cities to see him? 4?
Well, that was here, right?
Calgary, Edmonton,
Lethbridge,
Red Deer.
Calgary, Red Deer, Edmonton, Saskatoon, Winnipeg.
Right, yeah. Good God.
Yeah. So this time though, it's so funny. So me and my best friend Dave are going, and then my oldest son was like, I wouldn't mind tagging along. He's of age now that he can do that.
Right.
So, and then my daughter was home this weekend, and she's like, well, if he's going,
oh, cool.
It might end up being
Dave's getting the whole family.
I texted him. I said, how do you feel about the kids tagging along for this one? Which is okay because my daughter drives. My son does not.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, well, we got a driver.
Yeah.
Then.
But your daughter won't be able to drink down there.
She won't be
right?
able to drink down there, but it's an all ages show.
Oh, okay.
So she can go to the show.
Will she be able to hang out with you guys at the breweries though?
Yeah, because those are all ages.
Oh, okay.
Most of them.
Man, I was at Old Beautiful. Oh, what the fuck is that place?
Oh, you didn't?
I mean, no, I thought it was amazing, but it's like I've never been there, and I've never been to Cold Garden, which is right next to it, but not affiliated, I don't think.
No. So there's a whole bunch in there. Old Beautiful is really nice because it's just kind of around the corner, right?
It's right beside Smith Built.
Yeah, and then there's Cold Garden, and man, I really like the one that's right beside Cold Garden, but I can't remember.
I don't think I saw that place. Because the back patio of Old Beautiful is basically connected.
Oh, that's
to
right.
Cold
Yeah,
Garden.
that's right. That's right.
You're
They share the.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
That is. That's right. It's Old Beautiful and Cold Garden side by side. And yeah, Cold Garden's got like a kind of a beach motif on the inside.
Yes.
But
Old Beautiful is just basically a brew house. Like there's
right.
just it looks like an industrial shithole when you're inside. Honestly, like it really does. Like there's just tanks and shit all over the place. But kids are allowed.
Yeah. Most breweries.
Really? Is that the case?
Oh, yeah.
See, this is how little I know.
Most breweries.
But they have this great taco burrito stand inside. A1 burrito.
Inside Old Beautiful?
Yeah, like
or
a half.
Because they have in that patio in between the two of them, they usually have food trucks and stuff parked out there.
Not this time.
And in the summer, it's, oh man, you get like a 30-degree summer night.
Yeah.
And that place is unreal.
Yeah, some of the best tacos I've ever had inside. They've basically taken like half of a shipping container and they make tacos and burritos out of it. Inside the brewery is incredible. Very cool. And the beer was great.
And what'd you end up there for?
Wedding party. Just the post-rehearsal night before the wedding shindig thing. Just with like close family and friends. And forget what it was called. Brass Monkey, I think. It was a blood orange blonde.
Yeah.
God damn, it was tasty.
Yeah. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Old Beautiful has some roots in Red Deer.
Really?
As well. Yeah, I think one of the guys that started it spent some time in Red Deer.
Huh. Crazy. Yeah, no, I was very impressed. It was a cool vibe. Made me think maybe I should go check out more breweries.
Well, and there's another one just down the road, Dandy Brewing.
Oh, that's in Inglewood too?
Is just up, just to the south of that.
Okay,
a couple blocks to the south.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
You let me know when you want to get on that beer train. I'm more than happy to go and tour and take you around because I've been to a few of those.
Have you been exploring beers lately?
I've slowed down a little bit. It's funny. The season's changing, and my
pumpkin
taste buds
spice
are
beer
no.
time.
There's although I have had a pumpkin spice beer that was okay.
All right.
But I'm starting to switch over to spirits.
Oh, right. Yeah,
now a little bit.
Yeah, that's for the last like year or so, right?
Yeah.
Just doing straight brown.
Straight brown. No, I'm not.
I had the greatest gin and tonic I've ever had at this wedding. It was one of the signature dishes. They had a Jameson's lemonade, which I didn't get to try because I think they ran out of it, and this gin and tonic with some like fruity simple syrup. I think it was. Oh, and like a strip of cucumber in it. Man, made me think I could start drinking gin and tonics again.
Interesting.
It's been a while.
Yeah, that cucumber's a game changer in a lot of things.
You like cucumber?
I didn't think I would.
Like as a vegetable?
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Do you ever just eat cucumber on its own?
Rarely.
Yeah, if you toss cucumber into a drink.
But in beverage form?
Yeah.
If we were in California and I was dying for something and I went into a store and I grabbed what I thought was a green Gatorade, so I'm just assuming the lime Gatorade, and I get back out to the truck and I'm so thirsty and just, what the fuck is cucumber?
Cucumber Gatorade?
It was cucumber Gatorade. And like within 5 seconds, my brain flipped completely. I was like, this is amazing.
Is that in Canada?
I don't think I've ever seen it in Canada.
Holy shit. I would be all over that.
It is so refreshing. And then we had found a cucumber beer on one of the trips to Montana. There's a brewery in Oregon that had a cucumber beer. And I was like, it's super refreshing. And then, yeah, there's a couple of breweries here and there that have done cucumber.
I gotta look more into this.
Like Goza's, some of them tend to go sour on the sours. If you're into
I
sours.
still can't do it.
But yeah, cucumber is like super refreshing.
Yeah, very good. I'm going to start just chucking cucumber in my water bottles.
Actually, not
honestly.
yeah. Actually, the last time I was eating a cucumber was with dill pickle hummus.
Oh.
So it was like I couldn't wait for the cucumber to get to where it needed to be.
You should try making pickles. Why not? You'd have fun with that.
Would I?
Yeah,
I
it's
think
super easy.
I've got enough things. So the last thing I need to do is add
Start
one more
pickling
thing
things, barbecuing, smoking things, smoke pickles.
So I am this winter going to do for my old fashions. I'm going to smoke the orange and the cherries, and I think I'll probably make the simple syrup inside the smoker as well.
Smoked simple syrup instead of just smoked ingredients in the simple syrup?
Well, because the simple syrup is basically just...
Yeah, but you could make a flavored simple syrup.
You could make a flavored simple syrup.
Yeah. Huh, smoked
but
cherries.
honestly, I don't know if that would have any impact because I was just going to put the pot of water in the smoker and add the...
Interesting.
But yeah, the cherry, and I was going to slice up the oranges and have the orange slices sit. Got to be a pretty low temp, I'm assuming.
But when you do the oranges, like you're looking for they'll be crispy and dehydrated, or
I don't want them to get completely dehydrated.
will you be able to squeeze them?
I would think the goal would be is to still have some tangible juice left in them.
Interesting. I had total side note, but kind of related. Freeze dried candy is like this new trend where they're taking candy and any candy and just freeze drying it. So there's a new candy store in Red Deer, and we went and grabbed a few experimental bags. So we got a bag of freeze-dried Skittles, freeze-dried Milk Duds. When was the last time you had a Milk Dud?
Long time.
Can't buy them. I would love to eat Milk Duds, but I think the only time you can buy them is in a theater, and it's actually a nightmare to eat them. Anyways, freeze-dried Blue Sharks and Coke bottles.
What?
Any candy. Freeze-dried ice cream sandwich, like the rectangular one. So you're getting space food. That's what it is. It's freeze-dried.
I was going to say, or a military
rations.
Yeah.
But like
Army surplus store that you're shopping at for candy.
No. The Skittles, they looked like they had just expanded enough that they had split. So you could see the colored shells on top, and then in between was just white, like puffy white. The thing about this candy is that for some reason it just enhances the flavor like tenfold. The deep fried Milk Duds was one of the best sweet treats I've ever tried. Fucking amazing. All the rest was pretty crap, but yeah.
And just at a regular candy store.
Well, I mean, there's a new candy store in Bower Mall, which you've only ventured into once in the last 5 years, so I don't expect you to go check it out again.
Probably not gonna go to that one. Maybe you could bring some in next time.
Yeah, I'll bring the freeze-dried Milk Duds in because the Blue Sharks were way too tart. The Coke bottles were too much flavor.
The Blue Sharks were too tart?
Oh, so sour, dude. So sour. I never knew Blue Sharks were that sour.
That typically aren't.
They are fucking sour in freeze-dried
form. Sure they were Blue Sharks?
Yeah, I think so.
Not like blue raspberry?
It was like a puffy blue and white shark thing.
As long as you're not bringing in freeze-dried chicken assholes.
Chicken ass. Chicken ass.
I'm fine without the freeze-dried chicken ass.
All right. Fine, then. Maybe we'll freeze-dry a chicken ass and see if we can pass it as Milk Duds.
All right. I see a new segment of the podcast coming.
Speaking of segments...
This
is the segment in which we end.
Oh, this is the end segment, the closing chapter.
Unless we go with the other. You got anything else, Pete?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Patrick, I got nothing else.
You got nothing?
Usual. No.
Well, next week, I'm really, really looking forward to the next few interviews that we have lined up.
Well, then, so Marielle Buckley will be on the next episode, and we're going to talk to her face to face.
Yes, finally back to the back office.
To, whatever.
It's been too long. Was that Sham Family the last time we were in there?
Has it been that long? I bet you it's probably Sham Family since the last one.
That's crazy. Wow. Like episode something. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and most, it's busy. Show days are busy. So I think our hope was to do these on show days, but between load-ins and sound checks and letting them get their rest, it can be a little bit of a challenge to do. But we're going to put Marielle through the paces. Yeah,
that'll be good. And then the following interview, hopefully, is with an artist we were supposed to sit down with, but unfortunately didn't get to. So
right.
Lots of fun things to come on the road, the stage. Now,
things are cooking.
We are getting close to 500 subscribers on the YouTube channel. And I was telling this to Ryley earlier, but I was tempted during my emceeing at the wedding to try to get some subscribers.
I'm surprised you didn't. I'm surprised you weren't just grabbing phones.
I was very, very close to writing that into my MC notes, and here's what happened.
That's why there's blood on the dance floor.
That is why there's
Patrick
blood on
was
the dance
grabbing
floor.
people's phones.
So I had it typed out on my notes. It didn't make the final cut. It was just going to be a funny joke, but also kind of get some subscribers at this wedding. Left it out, and during my introduction, I had to introduce each member of the wedding party. So there's 4 bridesmaids, 4 groomsmen, including me. But I didn't write anything for myself. They provided notes about their people because I don't know them as well. So a few lines about each person. And then my introduction was given to me in an envelope written by the groom. You don't get to see it beforehand. You just have to read it.
And the groom, I know, is a regular listener of the podcast.
Yes.
I see him liking.
He knows the podcast. He subscribed a long time ago.
Yeah.
The very last line, something to the effect of, please subscribe to my podcast, The Road the Stage. So I thought
And you didn't read it?
Oh, no, I read it.
Oh,
I had to read the whole thing.
Good.
I had to read the whole
Good.
thing. Yeah. So I thought that was really, really funny.
Yes, you definitely take advantage of that.
Yeah, totally. It was pretty good. But no, I wasn't stealing phones, hitting the subscribe button. Not at this one. I'll save that for
so
Bose.
Close.
Yeah. I mean, I got a few at the Mono Oil show working the merch table.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Giving discounts on the merch?
No,
Hey, I'll save
no.
you $5 on this shirt.
No, just hey, open up YouTube. Do it now. Your life depends on it.
You wouldn't know by looking at him, but I mean, he's forceful. He's gonna.
Yeah. I'll do it. I'll do what needs doing.
That stare down is coming at you. You have no choice but to hand that phone over.
Anyways, next week's gonna be great,
It'll be fun.
and that means a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday.
The Road the Stage is produced by Ryan Kuly and Ryley Surian at the Communal Creative Studios in Red Deer, Alberta. In partnership with Go Services Inc., Sawback Brewing Co., Tourism Red Deer, and Bose Bar and Stage.